All right, and we are back. Now that we are back, I hope to celebrate this. You will both like and subscribe to the channel. I hope that you enjoyed all of our Sinner talk. I hope you enjoyed Brian talks about black people. I hope you enjoyed everything that has led up
And
to
we
this,
want you to
the writer's
tell
room.
us, and we want you to tell us how much you've loved it in the comments. The comments are very
Yes.
important. We want to hear from you. If I can stop a bit for a second, we're sincerely trying to uplift and build a community here. Like, we want to create a space where writers can practice their creative skills by providing us notes on what we write, and to give you guys an opportunity to be like, celebrate it because you came up with an awesome pitch. Because we're going to like and we're going to comment on what you said. And so I really hope to start seeing you guys put some pitches and notes in the comments for how we can make the story that we designed better, and how we can make the and to hear what you guys can do.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. We're totally not doing it for monetary reasons. No, I'm just kidding.
I was so
We are.
sincere. I'm so being
I
so
know.
okay.
I can't help.
Nah,
I can't help myself.
that's fair.
Um,
All right.
but
So
I
we
guess
should
we have a new addition to the breaking fit. Well, no, we have a writer's assistant, or actually, I guess, an intern. Brian, do you
intern.
want to intern? Excuse me. Yes, my mistake.
That means we're legally allowed to keep them in the basement.
That's fair.
So I've been an intern. I know what we can do here. But yes, we got Greg the intern. And the reason we brought Greg on is because I love our creative segments, but they do slow when me and Phil have to write things down to clarify things. So we brought Greg in order to take the notes for us, and me and Phil can move a little more efficiently, and we can go riffing back and forth and be able to move a lot quicker, more nimbly.
Yeah, I mean, last time for the last one, just like a little peek behind the veil, all the joys of editing. The way I edited the last one is there were so many like pauses, like Riverside, which is the program that we use, or potentially we won't be using it for editing now, but that's what I used last time, and it takes out like spaces, and it's really good, and sometimes it's like not good, but it was like it made it choppy, and it made it look like we were jumping around in time instead of it just being that like we were just taking long pauses to let the other type. So it'll be nice that we can move a little bit more briskly, I suppose.
Yes. So I guess we should explain what the concept is that we're going to tackle.
Yeah.
So we had two concepts, I'll say. Both have to do with sinners because, as you guys know, every week after we're done analyzing, we like to do a deep dive and play with these action figures and figure out what we would do with these characters in this world, how to abide by all the rules and push our skills to the limit. So, like, for example, Phil is really good at prose. He can handle drama really well. I'm leaving a lot of my tools on the table here. Like, I don't dabble in drama too often. I'm a hard comedy person. So this is an opportunity for me to challenge myself and really contribute in a more dramatic, disciplined fashion.
So it's good. I mean, I like it. I always like when we get an opportunity to stretch. I mean, I
Yes.
was not when we did Phineas and Ferb last week. I didn't, that was kind of new for me, and even though I had done animation, I hadn't done like that kind of vibe of animation. So it was like it's fun. It's good, and so like we'll work it through. I do want to bring up in the interim. Oh, okay. Two announcements, Brian. We hit our milestone.
80 subs. And hopefully will be significantly more by the time this episode airs.
Absolutely.
And that's up to you guys. Hit the subscribe button right now.
The power is yours. Yours. And also, I did not even know this. You know that YouTube channel Honest Trailers?
Yeah,
Guess what movie they did this week?
Sinners.
Yeah, I just discovered, like, literally in between our last
That's funny.
recording, in between the analysis and this, I popped on YouTube and Sinners was up. So I mean, what more of
I
a
think
sign
we're
do we
gonna.
need? The magic hoodoo
I
woman did it for us.
I mean, I'm glad you're cheerful about this. Like, I want to know how Honest Trailers found out we were covering Sinners, and I think Greg
Yeah,
the intern might have some questions to answer.
right, exactly. So
But
it's
that will
all
be handled.
subterfuge. He's subterfuge. He's a fifth columnist.
That will have to be dealt with later. For now, we're diving into our stories. So there were two angles that we wanted to go about this with. The first we thought of was
Yeah, why don't we put the screen on if you would, Greg. Why don't you just if you would please put the screen share the screen so that the audience can see it and then we can kind of get into it.
yeah. The
But
first
while we're
was
doing that, what were you saying? Hmm.
the the first idea was about the Native American vampire hunters because that's just a super awesome concept. But Phil and I shied away from that a little bit because Phil, like, I just feel like we're missing some historical knowledge that would make it a lot more um compelling. What's so funny?
Video.
Okay. Oh, you're watching the Honest trailers right now when we're recording.
No, no, I was watching what Greg typed.
Okay. Greg, we'll tell you when to start, okay, buddy?
It was great. But yeah, go
Um
ahead.
so we just went away from that one because as much as we liked the idea, we just didn't know if we were the right writers for it. But what we landed on is as exciting as well. Would you like to walk through that, or would you like me to explain the
Oh,
story
you
we
got
landed
it.
on?
No, you kind of can't. I
Okay.
thought it was a fun concept, so you why don't you kind of lay it out there?
Basically, we're gonna do a different end credit scene where we are going to explore just the scene in what the two vampires at the end of the movie, their life was like after they escaped the death that all the others were succumbed to. It was, do you remember the character's name? It wasn't Smoke, it was the other one.
Back.
Stack
It's
and what was the woman's?
Mary.
Stack and Mary. They are
Hmm.
in love. And but in the story they live in the Jim Crow South, and they are Stack is a black man and Mary's a white woman. So they weren't able to be together due to bigotry, but with these newfound powers, um, no one can punish them for being together. So this scene is going to basically be about a few good old boys trying to confront our vampire um, couple and paying the consequences as such.
So here's my question for you. What time period do we want this to take place in? I mean, we could do it we could do it. I mean, there are a lot of different areas, right? We could do in the 30s with the KKK. I mean, the KKK is always around. We could do it in like the 60s during civil rights. We can do it in like Rodney King time. We could do it in modern day and they could meet some Proud Boys. You know what I'm saying?
I
What
mean,
do we think?
I think we could even like maybe get away with like a montage sequence going through all the timelines if we pick like one. We could do like a beginning, middle, end sort of thing, and like we can see them nowadays at the end, but that they're still kind of dealing with like the same racist bullshit in every time period. But here, I have a question for you. Um he picked a very specific location in
Yes.
the state and where he put them. Where do you think that we could put them, at least for the beginning of this? That the first confrontation, if we do multiple timelines, where can we put them that would be as
Well,
significant as the location the movie chose?
I do feel that they still, I mean, because they don't really say where Sammy is at the end of the movie. I feel like he probably is still in the South. Um, I feel like we do wherever it is. I feel like we probably do need to still keep it in Mississippi.
Okay.
But I mean, it can be like in this. The nice thing they do about it too, aside from the dance sequence, is the sequence is they do kind of open it up to like a sort of like city sort of vibe at the end. Like I don't know what club that's in, but it's clearly not like a back roads or backwater or anything like that. But I feel like to me they feel a little bit more city when they're vampires. Like that just the way that they're dressed and they're all like 90s out. I feel like they went and I think that's a little bit of kind of the theme too, which is like the evils of the city versus like your kind of hometown sort of thing. I mean that's a pretty standard trope in history. There's a movie called Sunrise, a story of two women. Excuse me, a story of humans. Sun Sunrise, a story of two humans, and literally the premise is this is from like the 20s. It's like this guy, he meets an evil flapper. She's an evil city woman, and she convinces him to kill his wife. He doesn't. But like, so I feel like we can kind of play off of that a little bit if we're treating them as kind of these people that have changed now that they've become vampires. I mean, they can't stay in their home because people will just assume that they're dead. I don't know. But what do you think though? It's kind of like what I'm throwing out there.
I like that you're pushing me to think outside because I came into this just assuming we were going to like put them in the past. But now that you're pushing me, what I see is like, let me pitch this. If we I don't know exactly where to put it in modern day. I'm sure we can figure out somewhere that is appropriate. But it's them two at a bar and a modern day good old boy, proud boy comes up and tries to give them trouble. Whatever social cues the guy's giving off is making very clear they're upset. He's with a white woman. And he says something along the lines of, "You don't want this fight. You should walk away."
Right.
The good old boys push and um they get their asses beat. But now we do what I just said, but in reverse and show these racists aren't an anomaly. They have existed throughout time. They're the
Sure.
same guy. And so we can show like maybe in 10-year time skips them doing the same ripping up the same guys. What do you think?
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
That gets us to start in the city and then we can jump to a bunch of other different places. But like the thing that I really like about this is that we talked about like how they each wanted something that yes, he wanted to be with her, but he also what was preventing him from being with her? What was the obstacle in the way? He couldn't protect her from
Mm-hmm.
the world in which they lived in, and now he can do that. And she can protect him as well. And so yeah, the power fantasy of it all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we do it in time skips, maybe we should, let's say there's like three good old boys sort of thing, right? And we can do the
Mm-hmm.
different ones in sequence and kind of like make an arc through that. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Instead of, because I don't want them to be like menacing them, right? Because the point is he's like getting revenge, but he's not like being a prick about it. You know what I'm saying? He's not like, he doesn't want to like,
Yeah, I think it's self-defense. I think it's strictly
yeah,
self-defense. Like he tells them to
yeah,
walk away and that he doesn't want the fight. He does literally everything to de-escalate. They pull the gun.
yeah. Well, I almost feel like if we're gonna do it that way, I almost feel like they get there's like let's try and relate it to a little bit of kind of like the sort of black experience, as it were.
Yeah,
Maybe they end
please.
up having to leave. So like they pull the gun, they aggress, but then Stack and Mary are the ones that have to leave. They're like you gotta leave because you were the one who was being aggressive in the first place or something like that, right?
Mm.
Even though we know that that's not
Or
the
the
case.
bartender's just lying.
Yeah, either way, right? And it's like the bartender does the thing, and so they do, and like we know the power that they have, but like but they don't. I mean, and we can even play the both of the angles of like Mary could be like, let it go, and then Stack could be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So we can even kind of do an arc for their relationship too. Um, because to your point, she's powerful, but she can almost be getting victimized. And maybe like the last one is the one that she ends up doing, right? Like she ends up like killing that guy, right? And so she like that's how they become like partners, ostensibly. Like that is the growth of them. Does that make sense?
Could you elaborate on the victimized part?
Yes. So I'm saying that they could like mess with her, and we know that she could like slaughter him, and like Stack steps in, but like she's like, let's just let it go, sort of deal, and he can't let it go, and so he kills two of the three, and then the last one she ends up killing, and so they become like kind of like equal partners, ostensibly.
Okay. I why does Stack like because I feel like we're we're getting into like his toxic masculinity then if he feels that because
Yeah,
of one slight he needs oh, okay, so you're making him flawed on purpose.
yeah, so that he can overcome it at the end.
How does he overcome it if they're dead?
How can he not? What do you mean?
What is he how does he overcome his toxic masculinity is I guess what I'm getting at.
Well, they have a conversation in this last sequence.
Okay. I think let's move into I'm open to it. I think I'm having trouble envisioning it.
Hmm.
Here's something that might be helpful. Because it is a power fantasy, right? Like that's what we're
Yeah,
doing. Um, is there a theme we can go into outside of the power fantasy? Because the power fantasy is great.
sure.
We want to see Superman beat up the KKK members. Get on it, James Gunn. What are you doing? I didn't see any KKK members in that trailer. We want to see him punch the KKK members. But to the point, I let's see what other themes to explore
Sure.
in addition to the power fantasy. And I think that might help us find our footing. And then from there, I think we could go into our 3 act structure, and that might help us envision it a little more.
Sure. There's a another angle that we can take it in is they could start at Sammy's memorial concert or whatever. So he's gone and this is the last like with this all of his family
Oh,
is officially
okay.
gone.
And they're like even mourning a bit because
Yeah.
I think we're working under the assumption, even though the movie doesn't go into it, the movie assumes or the characters say the vampires don't have their souls, but Phil and I are taking the artistic liberty to disagree with that
Right,
and
this is
just
our
allow
version. Yeah.
these two to have souls for the sake of this exercise.
Right.
If we were wrong, please let us know in the comments. Um, Kugler, we'd appreciate it.
Right, because then you can even do a thing and have them run into these good old boys afterwards and then play specifically into the power fantasy aspect of it. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it can be a reflection how far they've come, but how things have not how things have changed, how things haven't changed. And then you could have the fun of just doing that. Of them killing the like or doing whatever they end up doing with the KKK members.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. I really like the how things have changed and not changed or stayed the same. And the other thing that I'd like to add to this is it's not necessarily a theme, it was just a beat I thought of. Um so I would like through the consequences of what happens in this fight and this the modern day fight can be our framing device and then the looking at the past fights that's more montage-ish. Um, so this will be our primary storyline, and I wonder if they, through the KKK members' actions, someone gets hurt, they turn them to save that person. Um, and then when it's clear the KKK member is going to die, he like pleads for his life, and Mary can say something along the lines of, "We don't want you."
Hmm.
And so, I don't know. I,
Yeah, that
I,
makes sense to me. Yeah, it was sad to think
I
about, but that
like
makes sense
it.
to me.
I just want to think about the theme a bit more of like, we don't want the racist
Yeah,
man.
so if we're going off of some of the if we're going off some of the themes of the feature, one, there's like the sort of immortality. There's like what makes
Hmm.
you live forever. There
Okay.
is the connection between generations, right? That's kind of like shown through the dance sequence.
I didn't
There
even realize
is
that we were doing that. Oh my gosh, we could like literally, instead of doing just flashes, we could do what they did and like see them fighting different people in the same sequence. And like different people from different time periods show up and they're fighting them too.
Yeah, I think that works. I think we just have to have a unified theme on it, if that makes
Yes, I
sense.
agree. I'm
Like, I
sorry.
don't
Just
think the theme
please.
can be. I just like. I want to have something more than like the beat up bad guys. I mean, that's kind of our. That's where we're at. Like, that's
Yes.
what we want to do with it. But Sinners is a
Sorry,
little
I
bit
just got
more on.
excited because you gave me the idea.
Yeah, no, no, no,
Because we
no.
had the music over time and now the conflict over time. And that's
Right,
the fight over time, the threat over time.
right.
And they broke free from the system at a cost. Okay.
So, and again, we don't have to do modern day. We can also do any point in time between 1932 and now.
I really liked what you said. Well, not modern day, but I really liked what you said about the memorial. I think that's the right place.
Okay.
And also that like our end credit scene wouldn't contradict the it wouldn't ruin the reveal of that. It would just be we're adding a credit scene at the end of that. So I like that a lot. I really like the memorial.
All right. Well, then let's do that then. So it's probably
So
like
it
what
keeps us in the 90s.
2000. Yeah, it's like probably like 90s or
Oh,
early
oh, oh, oh,
2000s.
oh. So after that, after like the 90s fight ends and like we did like our whole cool sequence, it time jumps again to now. And it's a good old boy trying to pick a fight with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just end there.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So that we still get that, like, no one's able to disconnect and go, oh, well, that was the people in the 90s. Of course they were bad. And it's forcing them to confront, nah, they're still here. So I
Right.
like
Okay.
that. I like this.
What if they meet OJ? No, I'm just, he's just just riding in the Bronco with him. No, I'm just messing around.
That's funny. Okay, so
Yeah, I mean,
is there
go ahead.
anything else you want to say about this, like thematically? Because I think the theme of like the evil doesn't go away, not on
Hmm.
its own. Like this is not
Hmm.
something that you can just immortality yourself out of, like without this. I really do like that thematic underline.
Yeah, I do too. Um, because I mean, the movie itself is about like this sort of connection across time, of like
Yes.
music and all of that, and I
Hmm.
think that it is, that I think that that is an aspect of it as well. The tension persists. It just it expresses itself in different ways, sort of thing.
Okay. So do you want to do we want to go into the act beats now and just see where they take us?
I still want to play a little bit with
Okay.
what our theme is going to be.
All right.
Um, we have to have music in it somehow too, because that has to be that's in fitting with the movie itself.
Yeah.
So I think those are things that those are like vector points that I would like to hit. So yeah, the
Uh.
evil doesn't go away.
Ooh.
Kind of legacy and like family sort of thing, ancestors across time and
Does
music somehow.
I think I got it?
Okay.
Where after the memorial and they go to the bar, we see one of the things. Um. Gosh, what's the guy's name? Stack. One of the things that Stack took was Sammy's guitar. So that's going to be in the background. And when the fight scene starts, the ghost of Sammy starts playing the guitar.
Can we make it a metaphorical ghost?
Yeah, I'm good with it not being a real ghost. I think it's going to be impossible to tell what's real at this
Yeah.
point. But
Yeah.
yes, I
Okay.
don't mean the literal ghost. I mean that's just
Rattling his chains.
he just comes in and he's just playing the guitar as the fight scene's happening.
Well, yeah, I think that, and I feel like the way that we can pull that off is by, I mean, when he's doing the power thing, he can like play one of Sammy's like albums, his one of his records or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then like we
Oh,
can see like
okay.
Sammy
So
appear or
like a
something like that.
jukebox or something.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Okay, that works.
It could even be I mean, if we're saying it's in somewhat modern times, it could technically be a record. You know what I'm saying? Like people have record players now. Sound good?
Yeah, this works for me. I like it.
Okay, so I guess we should go through the beach.
Okay. Greg, go ahead and hit enter, and then I want you to do bullet points.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Greg, the intern. Okay, so now from here, once you have the bullet points, I just want you to separate it, get three of them and do act one, act two, act three. Great. So now we are going to go and go through each one.
I feel like it starts with I feel
The
like it
memorial, right?
starts with the memorial, yeah.
Great. And this might be where like we get a hint that they feel more than we thought they did, that they have their souls.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we like start on like an image of Sammy, we're playing it, and like then we kind of pull out to see. And Greg, you don't have to put all this part in, but I'm just kind of like painting the scene. And we pull out to see it's like this Sammy the preacher boy. I forget what his last name is in the movie. Memorial, blah blah blah, and like it's playing to like a house. It's playing to like a house sort of thing. To the bar or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
People are mourning and shit like that. And then we see like in the audience it's Stack and Mary and
I feel like someone tries to give him like a rosary or a cross, and he's like, nah, I'm good.
well, they don't crosses don't hurt them, right?
I thought, I know it doesn't, but I just thought it would be cool, but never mind.
Well, I mean, if it gives
Not
it
all
to
pitches
like,
lands, guys.
Well, it gives it to him. Maybe it's like he holds it like, ah, I'm good. I don't want it to look like he's not, like he's gonna be burned by it or something, because that's like against like the rules of the
Yeah.
universe.
No, I agree. I don't want it to make it look like it has power.
Yeah.
Maybe like, does he do something more? Do we want to go like as disrespectful as like him taking it and throwing it out, or maybe like maybe he takes a look at it, holds it in his hands, we see it doesn't do nothing to him, then he hands it back and is like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, I think that works. That makes sense to me. Because I don't mind it. I just don't want it to look
Mhm.
like he's like,
He's afraid.
ah, yeah.
No, you're right to caution against that. Okay, so we have our setup. We are reintroducing everyone. We get a sense that the vampires are more complicated than we thought. And
Right.
oh no, Greg, we're not in Act 2 yet, Greg. Um, the because we have to get our problem introduced. Act one's about setting up the character and then giving them their problem.
Yeah, I feel like they're at the thing and they're like talking and they're talking about like he's gone, he's dead, whatever, right? And this is his last link to the family. That's like they basically at this point all they have is each other
Now
now,
they're the
right?
last ones standing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I may even be a nice thing if he's like, and she's like, ah, you liking her, something like that. He's like, ah, this wasn't his best song, like, big, because he like it doesn't do it justice. It ain't like being there, right? Like because remember when he plays the guitar for him in the car, it's kind of like the experience was also you can record it, but you can't recreate it, sort of deal.
which could motivate him to go take the guitar.
Yeah, and I guess from here we can do, I don't know, if you want to do the guitar. And then they can move to, they probably need to move to a different location. I doubt like
Yeah, I
the
think it's not
racist
going to be the
would be in here.
memorial, right?
Yeah,
Is there
would be in
somewhere
here.
they can visit, like, that's important to, like, this family? Like, is there somewhere they can go from the movie? And that's where they interact with the people that they weren't expecting to see, the good old boys. Like, where can we have
Yeah.
them go to think of Sammy?
I mean, it can really be. It's the South. So, I mean, it's like, it's not hard to find a racist person. It's,
Do they go back to the burned down remains of the place and there's a new bar? Because the
yeah,
building burnt down, maybe a new bar was built there and that they go there.
could be that. It could be a charred out house and there's a bunch of like peckerwoods just sitting like drinking. Like they never
That's
rebuilt
true.
it, sort of deal.
I'm sorry, what about the rebuild?
Like they never rebuilt it or something like that. It's like still dilapidated.
I mean, a bunch of people did die there, so it's
Right.
possible that they didn't rebuild. I do like the idea of if they did build it, it like stacks like, nah, our place was better.
Yeah. I'm trying to
But
think. If they did, I'm trying to think in a southern context. One of the reasons they built it out there is because it's like away from everybody. But that doesn't
mhm,
mean they wouldn't have like changed that area and made it more
modernized.
yeah, if it is, and I'm open to it being like a bar. I'm open to them having made it into like a bar. But like I feel like it would be a little bit more urban now, if that makes sense. So we
Hmm.
would have to have a little bit more there, which that works for me. I Because that also shows like kind of transition and change, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like the only place that makes it recognizable is that little lake or pond next to the mill.
I like that. Yeah, yeah. So it's like lakefront. That's fun. That's cool. Like they built like a strip mall or some damn thing that's like
Hmm.
near there. Like I that
Oh,
I
you know
buy
what I
that.
like about that?
Hmm.
It's ugly. It's a strip
Yeah,
mall. It's like
yeah.
knockoff B Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
really like their place had class. So Stack is right. Like this place
Right.
is hideous. They took this place and ruined it.
Right.
I
And
like
I
that a
think
lot.
too, if we're saying the like evil doesn't change even though other things do, like if we show a lot of like how much that this has changed, how much everything has changed, but like this thing is the same, I think that this really helps kind of the theme that we're like driving towards, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so they go to the lakefront. And like you said, it's a hideous it's a
It's
hideous strip
a
mall.
hideous strip mall.
A
The
fucking with a fucking like you said, a Buffalo Wild the Buffalo Wild Wings
it's
and
literally some
an
sort of
an
ugly
outdoor Bass
chain
Pro
like
Shop.
compared
Yeah.
outdoor best that's funny. Like compared to what they had built,
Right.
hideous.
Right.
Okay, I actually Greg wrote something very cool. It's decayed from progress. I really like that.
That's great. The way great way of putting it too.
That was a really nice way to put it, man. I gotta hand that to the
Don't even
intern.
put just yeah, yeah,
No,
just decayed from
it's decayed
progress.
from
Yeah, that's
progress.
it.
That says so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that was
Um,
perfect. It's decayed from
okay.
progress.
Um, uh, okay. So now they go in. So Stack is upsetty spaghetti, but he
Let's
is
not give let's not give him the guitar just yet. He can maybe get the guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like the moment he when he decides what he's going to do, he can get the guitar then. Does that make sense?
I think I might have something else,
Okay, lay
and
it on me.
it meets what you're trying to do. They at the memorial find out his guitar's final resting place is this restaurant.
That's funny. Yeah, it's like House of Blues or something. Something
Yes.
repulsive. Yeah. Yeah, something like utterly repulsive. That's good.
So then after they get through this and they deem the place unworthy, they take the guitar with them. So it's kind of like the whole like appropriation of culture and it's returning to its rightful spot in a way. Like that's kind
Yeah,
of
this is a little glib, but like it's almost like it's a house of blues and wings. And that's where this
I like this. I think that that works. So yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, so
they're
they
at
go
the
there,
house
they
of blues
just
and
plan to
wings.
visit it. They don't expect this thing to go sideways.
Yeah.
So they go in, they see the guitar in this horribly tacky place. Like it cuz like not that House of Blues is bad, but like imagine like the bad version of that place where like it's just
It's
cynical
like Planet
corporatists.
Yeah, it's just like Planet Hollywood, basically.
Yeah. And so like the guitar's like a decoration over like
Yeah,
a thing of reverence.
right.
So that's going to upset both of them. Um okay. So they go in, they're both
I feel
pretty.
like they're having a okay.
No, go ahead. They're having a what?
I think they're having like a drink, right? I feel like they're almost
Yeah.
like they're just like at the bar.
And the drinks are garbage.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're bad drinks. They made
Yeah.
great drinks at their place. These
Yeah.
are bad drinks. These are watered
Right.
down. He asked if they watered down the alcohol. They say
Yeah, that's
no, but
good.
he knows they did.
Right. I like that. I like that. And they're playing Garth Brooks.
I actually like Garth Brooks, but okay.
Well, they're playing somebody that Brian doesn't like.
Okay. But yeah, I get what you're getting at too, because like it, like yeah, some type of soulless music. I think is what you're getting at. like something that is not what is Sammy's
And the
legacy.
music's been like yeah, the music's been appropriated, Austin. Dubstep. The music's like been appropriated, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, okay, so we
I
have
mean,
them.
if you want, I mean, it could still be Garth Brooks, but she can be like, I don't know, I don't hate it, and he's like, he's just like, nah, you know, they could have a difference of opinion
Yeah, yeah.
because we don't want it
He
to
goes.
just be. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was going to say he goes. I'll leave you here,
It's funny.
but that might be too funny for this. That might be too
Yeah,
silly. I
I think
have
it's a
to
little
leave my
silly.
comedy tools on the table.
Yeah, I think that's a little silly.
Okay, fair enough. Um, okay. Um, does this feel like a good moment to begin?
He can
Like
still
the
leave
good
though.
old
I
boys show up?
mean,
Huh?
yeah, I think we're in Act Two now.
Yeah. Once the
I
the
feel
good
like
old boy gets
he
there.
can leave. They can even get in a they can get in. I almost feel like he can leave. I don't know if he's like this is where I'm leaving you, right? Sort of thing, like a joke.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he can get up and then like come back and they're just like they're around her. You know what I'm saying? And they're being
yeah, yeah. He
jerks.
gets annoyed and walks away. Not like he like fully storms off, right? Like more.
No, 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 no. I don't think
Mhm.
it's that. I think he's just like frustrated. I think like the day has like caught up with him, and
Yeah.
he's just. I mean, we've all been in that with our partners, and you're just kind of like, I don't want to deal with this right now, so
I need a
I'm gonna like
timeout.
go. Right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna come back here. I'm an
And
immortal
then
vampire.
that opens up a opportunity because then she's alone. Guy tries to hit on her.
Yeah, I think so.
And then they're upset because then he can when he comes back, it can be a whole dude walks away, but then he comes back with his friends.
Yeah, no, I like that. They might even mistake her for white in the initially, and then like he shows up and she's like, it's like, oh, your guy is like uh, an N word, and he and then he goes boss N word, but but
Oh, who's being silly now?
oh me, but um but I do think we can even play like that sort of like they think that she's like white because she's like light skinned, right? And then he like
Can
shows up and
I'm
that's like when the vibe
confused.
changes. What?
I thought she was white. Mary? The woman?
Mary's part black. She's like 1/6. She's at 1/4 or 1/6 black.
I did not
That's part of the
know
mo
that.
that's
Oh,
part of the
you know
movie
what?
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
That's the
I
point.
completely forgot about that. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, she's not quite. I think she's like a quadroon, to be perfectly honest with you. This is blood politics. Because if you're mixed, she's a mulatto, right? So she's mixed. She's not an octoroon because that's an eighth. I think she says like her grandparents or something like that. So she'd be like a quadroon. So she's like a quarter black.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, that. Okay. All right. I completely forgot about that. So thank you for reminding me. Um. Okay. Cool. Okay, so he walks away. Are we tracking whatever he's up to? Does he like go out? Maybe this is the moment where he like acknowledges like the lake is the only thing that hadn't changed
Yeah, I like that.
so that we have an option. Uh okay, so
Yeah, I
Greg,
like that.
for
Yeah.
this, go ahead and write um actually, yeah, I think we're in act 2, so go ahead and jump down to act 2.
Yeah, we're in Act Two now, for sure.
Okay, so now the first thing you're writing is that one of the good old boys tries hitting on Mary. And then the next thing you're going to talk about is the uh he goes and looks at the lake, and then we're going to intercut those scenes. Okay, so we got all that, and we obviously Stack comes back, and
Yeah, I think when Stack comes back, the vibe changes.
yeah, yeah. Well, also, I think like the good old boy's not going to be good at picking her up, and she's like dropping hints like she's not interested, and he is not listening.
Yeah, I agree.
So the vibe, Stack's going to pick up on that and be like, "You should walk."
Yeah, I mean he's kind of like aggressive anyway, so I feel like he'd go in
Yeah, I agree.
hot.
And then they can have a discussion of like, you didn't need to go that hard. And then they can have a little back and forth and arguing about whether this is the same thing that they always have to deal with or whether he could have handled it differently. But then Stack's proven right when he returns with his boys, right?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is the same thing again.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, it's a different time, It's not like that, but she's kind of saying like things have changed. Like we can't. You gotta be
We
aware.
can't be the ones picking the fight.
Well, we want to know if there's a fight to be picked. I mean, because that's an aspect of
Mm-hmm.
racism just generally. It's like, is this person being a prick because they're a prick, or are they being a prick because they're a bigot? Like
Yeah,
that is always a consideration and a contention.
great point. So, um, he, great point. He returns with his friends, and it's a and like Stack's not afraid. He's just gonna be like, you don't
No,
want this. You don't want this.
yeah, yeah,
And
no.
he's
I
like
mean, he
advises them to back
right.
down.
They they are they have no
Immensely
idea.
confident.
Right, they have no idea what horror would befall them if they continue going, and I,
Yes.
I think that's like fun.
So the good old boys will keep pushing until the fight breaks out, right? And I think we can go right into the fight scene unless you had something else to
Well, I
drag this
don't
out
think
with.
so. This is my vibe on this is
Hmm.
like I feel like it becomes a confrontation, and then the manager or whatever like
Yeah.
intercedes and blames them, and so like
Kicks them out.
kicks them out.
They
Uh,
listen, and then the good old boys follow them into the parking lot.
yeah, I like that. That's good.
And then that gets us like a starlight fight
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
lake.
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Um, okay, that's cool. That gives us another beat. I like that. And then so we're not gonna like map out the fight scene. But like I feel like quick
Or
question,
well,
like oh
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go
Well, I was
ahead. You
just
go.
how many friends do we think the good old boy has?
I do kind of want to see them tear up a bunch of people. So, 30, 40? No. Maybe I think like five at the most.
Okay. I'm good with five. Um
Three to five. I don't know. I feel like
um okay, so from there we have
they should have one of them should be a Karen.
oh, you think there's a
They should
female
be.
in there?
I think
Okay.
so too. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
down
and
with
I
that.
think she like
She's the
pushes it
loudest
further
one.
too. Absolutely. And she's like when the manager comes like they were being aggressive, you know what I'm saying? I think that she's just horrible. I think she's a
Yes.
screeching
Oh,
match.
she's gonna say some slurs.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
she's the one egging on the fight. My boyfriend's gonna knock you out. All that trashy stuff.
Yeah,
Fantastic. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah, all that. Yeah, right.
Ugly
No, yeah,
inside and out.
they're like I feel like they're like total trash.
Hmm. Now, obviously, we're not gonna have an all is lost moment, right? But like, are we in Act 3?
I feel like the all is lost moment is when they leave.
Yeah,
And you're
I
right.
think that
It's
is
not
it.
like they're
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're depressed about it. I just think that it's like this is frustrating.
Actually, like, Greg, go back to what's its name? The before they leave the bar, as they're getting kicked out of the bar. Phil, um,
Yeah.
a moment where Stack looks to the guitar. He's super mad that he's leaving and the guitar's staying.
Hmm.
That will more strongly show the all is lost moment, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
And so everything after that, Greg, you can move into Act 3. You can copy and paste it over to, well, uh, they leave. Everything after they leave, you can move to Act 3. Um, okay, so this is looking really good, Phil. Not to toot
Yeah,
our
it's
own horn
fun.
too
This is
much.
fun. Yeah.
This is the best part of writing, guys. And this is what, again, if I can plead to you guys to write in the comments, this is the best part of writing, figuring out what you
It
would
is
do.
right.
So, like, tell us what you would do in the world of sinners. Tell us what we should do. If, like, we almost just missed that idea of him having a moment realizing he's leaving the guitar behind. We might be missing another
Right.
beat. Tell us
Yeah.
give us your notes in the comments. We want to hear from you. Practice your writing skills with us. We can all become better and stronger writers together. Thank you.
Especially Brian. No, I'm just kidding.
I got room to grow. But okay, so like I said, we're not going to map out the entire fight scene, but what do
No.
you think of I want to repitch that one moment because you seemed very open to it. Um I think like they're tearing them up. They like the fight is going bad for the good old boys. And then this is where we get like the montage, right? We see them like fighting, and that's where we also really get the numbers up, right? Because we different people come into the fight in like different time period outfits. So it's like all the other different fights that they were a part of. The same idea as like that music sequence that
Okay,
happened in the movie.
it's the music sequence. Okay, sure.
And then we'll also have what's his name or his music playing.
Yeah, it's like fading
Uh
in. It's like fading in
yeah.
and out sort of deal. I get what you're saying.
So
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
um great. That's such a cool fight sequence. And then here is my pitch to get back to the other idea. One of them's going to pull a gun, shot misses the two vampires, hits a bystander, like maybe like point blank heart hit. Like the person's not going to make it. They they knock that guy down, lethal blow to him. Then both of them go to try to like resuscitate that person, but it's clear they're not being saved. And so the only way to let them live is turn them. And so they turn that person, and then the other guy that they just like killed with or almost killed or nearly fatal hit, he asks for them to do the same thing to him, and she delivers the line, "We don't want you."
I would do this. I like that.
Okay.
A few adjustments. One is
Yeah,
just let the
please.
bullets hit it, and then one a straight bullet just hits the person.
Fires off multiple. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and
So we
maybe
see them like
like
tank the bullets.
yeah, exactly. And maybe like we can have that person be decent earlier. And you can have it be like
Oh, yes.
you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
love
that
that.
person
Yeah,
is that person's like an ally.
I
And
love
I
it.
feel like the person who's asking them to turn, like he gets like, all right, well, what do you think? And it's like, yeah, let's get him. That guy's like, yeah, let's get him. And I feel like the person who like begs at the end is the Karen.
I'm okay with that.
She's like, yeah, it's like we don't watch it.
I accept all those adjustments. Do we want to go back and like brainstorm what that scene looks like of the
Sure,
kindness? Because I imagine it's like someone at the
sure,
restaurant, right? Like
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
the
What would
hostess is
you?
like
Yeah,
because that's like the point of entry. Like, but that might be too easy. What
yeah,
do you
that's
think?
interesting. If she's there, yeah, I mean, it's someone who works there, I think is good. That makes sense to me. And it's just like they try to stand up, and like the manager's like, nah, I'm doing my, I'm doing my horrible thing here.
Could be the
And they were, and
bartender or yeah.
yeah,
Because like they heard the entire conversation. Maybe they even tried to
right,
de-escalate. Like they
right,
attempted to intervene there. I
right,
like that.
yeah, I dig that.
Okay. And then I think the last big
And they
theme
could even
here.
see that from the fight from the inside, and they like kind of rush out sort of deal, and then that's
Yeah.
what ends up leading to them
Like, I'm calling the
getting.
police. The police are on their way.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the good old boy, or I guess the Karen or whoever shoots her. Okay, I love that.
No, I feel like
Um,
I feel like a good old boy shoots her, but I feel like the Karen is the one who like begs to be turned.
saved.
And I don't know,
Yes.
I feel like then they dispatch these people, and then like they go back up to the door because they've been thrown out, and I don't know, we're making a new rule here, but like the manager's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, and then the bartender comes like, "You gotta let us in," or something like that. He's like, "Tell us to come in." And I don't think we play it. I don't think we see them go in, but I do think that then we cut to like wherever they're like living now, their house, their apartment, and they have Sammy's guitar and like blood on their hands or something like that, and like the music, and they're like playing one of his albums, and like then his like kind of ghost is there too. I don't know. What do you think?
I love it. Yeah. I think that's great. I don't really have anything else to add.
When it's
Um,
drama, you can just substitute laughs for allegory.
yeah.
It's allegory are the
Phil, I
giggles
think we did it.
of drama. I thought it came out well.
I was honestly super nervous about this one. I didn't know how well it would come out. Like I said from the beginning, like, this is another cool thing about the podcast is it forces you to use other tools in your toolbox. And like, I'm really proud of what we did here. I think this stays true to the world, true to the character. We did take some creative liberties, but I think it all
Yeah,
fits.
we added, but we tried to
Hmm.
keep it like, but I don't think that anything we did was like out of line.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. One thing, do we have to address them originally going in the restaurant since you brought up the whole needs permission to enter? Like, and that could be a playful moment with the hostess as
I
well,
mean,
right?
yeah, well, that's a good way of introducing the hostess.
Yeah.
You can say, "Welcome to Blues and Wings. Come on in." You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have
Hmm.
to be. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
anything huge.
And we can have like a moment where they like stop walking outside the things, like, why'd you stop walking, silly? Come on inside. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, that's
And
good.
then
I
they can
like
say
that. Yeah,
something,
yeah.
we like to make sure that we're invited and welcome to a place. And
Yeah,
then that
I
gives
like
like
that. Well, we always
undertones.
want to
Yeah.
feel we always want to feel we're welcome in a place. I like that.
Yeah.
That's really good because
That
that
says a
has that
lot.
kind of like it does that, and that has that kind of like societal like vibe resonance that the movie tries to and succeeds in doing.
Hmm.
I wonder if I feel like Ryan Coogler's a super down guy. I would love to get him on one of our future podcasts. I
I
just need
would
to meet
flip.
him.
I was looking at other channels. I don't think we need too many subs to get like really cool people. And also,
No,
I've
he just
had
seems like
many of
a
my
yeah.
showrunner
Ryan
friends.
just seems like a really nice guy. So
Yeah,
I don't.
he'd be fantastic. And like, show guys, we're gonna have showrunners and coming on at some point, so you want to make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that content. And maybe we'll also release Greg's notes if you guys want to look at them and study them. But I'm gonna really need to hear you in those comments if that's something that you want. And what am I forgetting, Phil? Like, hit
You're like
like
an
and the bell.
NPR. You're like an NPR telethon. It's
I
just like we're only 4 calls away from meeting today's
we
goal from the Bill and Melinda Gates.
um that's right.
Yes, and ring the bell
Greg the
and ring the
intern
bell
gets it.
and ring the
Um,
bell.
we got to do this, especially at this early stage, and people respect it. And it's we're growing. We're gonna build this writers community. It's gonna be phenomenal. We're gonna have incredible guests in a very short period of time. Thank you all for being on this with us, Phil. I am so proud of what we made tonight. Between this and the
Yeah.
other videos, like, thank you for doing this with me.
This is a
Like,
good one. Yeah, this
yeah,
was see drama can be fun too.
it can
This is our
be.
first drama. Yeah, this is our first drama.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
this is first drama.
So
And what
good.
a
We
drama to
started off on a
start
good
with.
foot. I know, right? Well,
Okay.
my favorite is still showing you
Could you
Paul
on
Finger.
screen share, Greg?
My favorite is
And
still
thank you for being with us tonight too, Greg the intern.
So thank you, Greg. In the comments, if you want to talk about Greg, say thank you to Greg for
Theorize who he
sparing
is.
sparing you uncomfortable and boring pauses like in the last two episodes.
Absolutely.
And we really
Maybe you can.
appreciate you coming in.
We'd love to hear what theories you have about Greg's backstory.
That's funny.
Um,
We'll write a Greg fanfic out of that once. That'll
that'll
be
be
fun.
great. All right. It's time to call it, I think. Thank you all for joining us. And till next
Yeah,
time.
thank you, and you have a great time. Pencils down.
Remember to put your notes and pitches in the comments, and we'll read our favorites on next week's show.
And hey, while you're at it, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Let's build this community together. Oh, also, the bell icon's there, so why don't you ring my bell so that you never miss any updates?
And the like button too, Phil. That's important.
Oh, right, yes. Thank you, Brian.